Y'all, I'm gonna prove to you why Islam is the right religion without using anything from the Quran. If I were to ask, what does it take to be successful with your goals, regardless of what it is? Like, for example, like if it's getting rich or if it's getting a six-pack, I don't know. Whatever it is, what's the one thing that you have to incorporate to be successful with your goals? The answer is discipline. You have to be disciplined enough to go to the gym and consistent enough to show up every day. Now, our goal as Muslims is to obviously, be eternally in Jannah. And what does it take for us to reach that goal? It takes discipline to pray 5 times a day. It takes discipline to fast during Ramadan. It takes discipline to do all these things. We know that every action has its reaction. So putting in physical labor, actually putting in work means a result. The idea of only believing in something is not sufficient for achieving a goal. And no offense to the Christians, but, showing up to church optionally on a Sunday for an hour of your life is not going to get you where you want to go. And, if that's paradise for you. People have this belief that only believing is enough. Only believing will get them to the goal they want. And this very idea, this very concept contradicts the laws of the universe, contradicts how we operate in society. Like, imagine if someone said, I believe I'm a billionaire. I believe I'm going to reach that status. I don't have to put in any work, but I believe that, I'm going to be rewarded. You would say that person's delusional, and they absolutely are. To not put in any work and then expect a reward, a result, is absolutely delusional. If someone also said, I'm only going to hit the gym for an hour of my life every week, optional, I might not even feel like it the week after that, do you think that person would get a six-pack or whatever they're trying to achieve by going to the gym? So this idea of only believing or trying will not get you where you want to get. Like, you actually have to show up and be consistent and be disciplined with whatever your goals is. And especially nowadays, even with Muslims, you hear a lot of people say, I don't do this, but God knows my intention. Therefore, I believe that I will be rewarded for it. Like, imagine if you hit up your boss and you were like, I'm not going to come to work today. I'm not going to work anymore, but my intention is to work. So I expect my paycheck next week. And if you were to ask anyone, which is quite interesting, what you think is the most strict religion, everyone would say Islam. And it's not even necessarily because Islam is strict, but because it instills discipline into its followers. Which is why you can't outdo someone who puts in the action rather than the person who just believes and the person that just thinks. Like, whatever you want to achieve in this life, there's hundreds of other people that want the same thing that you want. And who's the universe? Who is God going to give it to? It's going to give it to the person who puts in the effort. And with other faiths, there's just a lack of discipline that I see, and a lack of a need for consistent effort, which is why Islam is the right one.